Hey, everybody. Happy Thursday. We are back in today with the student roundtable because I have the most amazing students ever. And they are here with me today because we're going to talk about their experience in Strip Down. And they are going to talk to you guys and answer any questions that you might have. And we're going to show you some of their amazing before and after work as well, because I want to show you guys how awesome that they did, because I'm super proud of them and they did some dope ass shit. So I've got them all muted right now, so there's not a lot of background. Guys, I'll be unmuting you as questions come up. So we're just going to go through some of the stuff. And I think, Dan, we're starting with you. So I'm going to go ahead and go off my presentation, everybody. Oh, before I go into this, I need to let you guys know that today, at the end of this student roundtable, I'm going to be giving away my
flow posing guide.
My flow posing guide. So one person is going to get my flow posing guide today, but you need to ask a question. And you need to make sure that you put your name in when you ask questions, because if you didn't sign up through StreamYard, I can't see who you is. So make sure that you put your name in there so I know who you are. And then again, feel free. You guys can ask me any questions about the methodology. You can ask me any questions that you're having trouble with, that you need some support with. You can ask the students questions. Maybe you're having some issues. They can help you because they're amazing, because they're stripped down graduates. They're awesome as fuck. And you can ask any questions that you want to ask about the course as well. So I don't want to just come in here and not bring you some value. So please come on, interact with us. Let's bring you some value. We're going to be happy to answer your questions and help you with anything we can help you with. So I want you to meet some of my best and brightest as they share their experiences from taking my class, working with me in person, and how it's affected their business, their artistry, their business, and also them personally. And one of them is going to give you the men's boudoir perspective, which is incredibly important, because I think so many men in this industry are kind of like pushed out of groups and kind of like knocked to the side. And I don't know that we treat them the way that we should. But here in Strip Down, everybody gets treated fairly and properly. And we're all in this because we're artists and we want to do amazing, beautiful things. And it doesn't matter like how we identify or what gender we are. What matters is that we are giving amazing experiences to our clients and creating beautiful art and thriving as business people. So it's really important to me to have one of my amazing male boudoir photographers, and I have many of them. And there are many of them out there. I hate the whole that we kind of like ostracize and oppress male boudoir photographers. Denise is not down with that shit at all. So if you have a problem with that, and you don't like male boudoir photographers, you don't think they should be in the industry, I'm probably not the place you should be, because I like embrace them all. So there's that. Anywho, we're going to get some of your questions answered, and one person is getting my flow posing guide. Not everyone. That's a typo. I apologize, people. Sorry about that. Okay, so a little bit about me. I'm Denise Birdsong, in case you don't know who I am. I'm a published international award-winning fashion, wedding, boudoir, and portrait photographer. I use this methodology across all of the genres that I work in, all portrait genres it works in. My past students are absolutely some of the best and brightest industry leaders and educators that we know today. And I'm really passionate about sharing knowledge and information. And I strive to elevate the industry by providing incredible content and value in everything I share, teach, and facilitate. So that means, again, today, I don't want to come in here and not bring value. I definitely want to bring you guys some value. So please ask your questions so that we can help support you in what you're doing and in your business and in your artistry. Okay. So more using the strip to more about Denise. Okay, let's get through this quickly. Using the strip down methodology, photographers like you are actually able to build a skill set that allows you to grow into your brilliance, tap into your creativity, connect deeply with your clients, and create art. Would y'all agree to that? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And seriously, you guys, my students using this method, they don't blend in anymore. Instead, they're now creating unparalleled works of art, and they're enjoying a lifestyle that they only once dreamed of as well-paid artists and entrepreneurs. And more firmly rooted in their ability to bring like amazing experiences to their clients. But I'm going to let them talk to you guys about that. Okay, so just a couple more things. Today, obviously, is the 19th, and we are here doing the thing. Tomorrow is the second day of Portrait Pyramid Posing Boot Camp. It really is a tongue twister. But you're definitely going to want to be there because it's our pre-launch as well. So we're pre-launching the next strip down class. It is going to be at the lowest price that you can possibly get it at. And we have a bunch of bonuses as well. So someone's going to win $100. Someone is getting that super surprise giveaway, which is actually the preset collection that I've created, which I'm super excited about. Someone's going to win my flow posing guide. Someone is going to win the new styling course. Someone is going to win a portfolio review with me, which is going to be awesome. And then someone, most importantly, is going to win a strip down scholarship. And then I know that's really exciting. And then on the 21st, we have an invite only celebration for everyone who's joined so that we can all kind of get to know each other, hang out, have fun, drink some champagne or some Diet 7-Up if you're hella boring like me. Or I don't know, if you're in California, smoking the pot or whatever it is you do to celebrate, man, whatever the thing is, that's what we're going to do on the 21st. I'm going to be doing it from the Aptos Hills in Santa Cruz Valley. Be curious to see where you all are going to be doing it from. Okay, so if you hang out with me through the end of this training and ask just one question, one of you watching live today will be winning a special gift, and all of you who stick around, I guess I am giving everybody my free closing guide. I don't know how the fuck we're going to do that, but it's in my presentation, so fuck it. Y'all get it. Oh, and if you don't know me, I curse a lot, so sorry, not sorry, because you're all fucking getting it. So I don't know how we're going to do that, but we'll figure it out.
We're putting a link in the group.
Okay, fantastic. A link is going in the group right now for you all to go and get it. So
at the end.
At the end, not right now. At the end, you get it. And then we're going to take it down like 5 minutes later. So you better be snappy about it. Okay, awesome. So remember, I'll continue going live right here in the group tomorrow and Saturday to bring you as much bonus and value and opportunity for you to win some really cool prizes. And right now we have left Friday, May 20th at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time is the second day of boot camp. It is our pre-launch. It is the cheapest you're going to be able to get stripped down for. And I'm going to talk to you guys all about like all of the new iterations that are happening in strip down that are absolutely out of this world. I totally did way too much and it's super awesome. And I wish I was taking it. It's like that. It's like that good. It's so good. I wish someone was leading me through this class. Okay. So with that, I want you guys to welcome Dan. And Dan was one of my amazing students who also happens to be a very, very kind gentleman. I am quite certain that Dan would open all of my doors for me and shut my doors for me and make me walk on the inside of the sidewalk. Such a gentleman, such a good guy. And also a brilliant artist who was very engaged and did an amazing job in the strip down course, like absolutely killed it. His transformation was incredible. So Dan, you are unmuted and you are with us. You want to say hi to everybody?
Well, hello, everybody. I don't know how she spelled my name wrong at the top and then there, but then right next to it is my logo that spells it correctly.
That's on Colleen.
That's my fault.
But that's okay. I have dealt with that for 42 years. It is fine. Hi, everybody. I'm elated to be here. Denise, you are everything and more. This online doesn't even give anybody a true representation of who you are. And so I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Yes, I would open your doors, shut your doors, and yes, you would be protected and walked inside. So
yes. Dan is amazing, you guys. Again, Dan was so strip down is one of those courses, guys. I know that we're also used to education at this point because there are so many people in the education field who like build guides, build products, build courses, that a lot of it is like kind of like regurgitated information. I hate to say that. I'm not trying to be nasty or anything, but it's true. That's what happens. And then they just kind of drop it at your feet and you're left to your own devices. But Strip Down is such a robust and intensive program that there's no way that I could possibly like drop it and walk away. Like I am so incredibly involved in class. And some people in Strip Down go at their own pace, and a percentage of those people do very well. And then some of them struggle. And then there are the people who show up every week for the 1 hour Q&A that usually ends up being 4 hours long because we're all just like asking all the questions and answering it and like brainstorming and doing all the stuff together. Dan shows up for every single Q&A, turns in all of his homework so that he's able to get the one-on-one critiques from me. He worked his ass off in this class. And I just want to let you know, Dan, that I am so incredibly proud of you for showing up for yourself. Like, first and foremost, you showed up for yourself, and you really put the effort into growing and becoming the best artist that you could be and learning how to provide the best possible experiences to your clients. And I know that as a man, that's we talked about it, and I think it's unfortunate that there's kind of this stigma. And every time I work with male boudoir clients, I always tell them like, the women who are hiring you understand that they're hiring a man. You don't have to feel badly or have any shame around what you do. And when you do have that kind of shame around what you do, it's going to bleed over into your clients. And so we overcame a lot with Dan, and it was Dan. I should say Dan overcame a lot. I didn't. Dan did the work. Dan's the one who did all the work for Dan. He showed up for himself, and that allowed him to show up even better for his clients. And I'm just so proud of you that you did it, that you put all of the work in, babe, and that you worked so incredibly hard, and you were cognizant of the experiences and how to make those experiences bigger and brighter and fuller and more life-changing for your clients. And you're just fucking amazing, and I love you, and thank you so much for being here and for showing up for yourself, because I know that you are making the world a better place. And that's the whole reason I teach Strip Down, is so that I could give you guys these skills, tools, and knowledge so you could do the work. I didn't turn you into something brilliant. You did that yourself. You get to own all of that. And I'm just super proud of you. So okay, I'm gonna quit fangirling right now. And I'm gonna
stop. But keep going. Keep going. No.
I'm like this with all my students, you guys. I'm such a fangirl. It's stupid. So we're gonna take a look at some of Dan's before work. So this is some of Dan's couples work before he took Strip Down. And do you want to tell us a little bit about this shoot, Dan, and like where you were headspace wise and like how you were feeling when you were shooting it?
Sure. If you don't mind, can I step back even a little bit further past before just going right into this photo and kind of talk a little quick about who I am, what I do. So some people might know of me, some people might not, and that's okay. This is my 12th year of running my photography business. I've been exclusively photographing boudoir for 2.5 years. Since fall of 2019, I've only been doing boudoir. In that time, I have been busy as could be. But I have always felt that something was missing from my work. That was why I took Strip Down, and I'm going to cover that more later. But I have always followed Denise, so I'm going to fangirl about her. I've always followed her and a couple of her that I knew that graduated from Strip Down. And I always said, like, how the fuck can I make my work look like theirs? And I'd buy the guides. Honestly, I have your photo posing guide from a couple of years ago, and I buy all those, and I still couldn't do what I wanted to do. But every once in a while, I would get into a shoot, and I would get this little, like, right towards the end of the session that finally something clicked with me and the client. Now, when I say I'm busy, last year alone, I empowered 142 ladies on 176 sessions because I had some repeat clients.
Amazing.
Yeah, thank you. It was a busy week, a busy year, but it was my year of growth that completely transformed my business. Of course, I do boudoir because of what it does for ladies and for couples, as well as now males. So now back to what you're asking with this couple session. So I've been doing boudoir, and this woman was in our group, and she says, "Hey, I'd love to do some with my hubby." And I'm like, "Sure." I haven't done a couple session ever. I was like, "Okay." So I actually did a model call before these people, and I didn't get them released. It was like a true model call, but didn't know really what I was doing. Didn't know anything about this session. So I kind of said to them, "Hey, I'm just going to be a fly on the wall and take some pictures. I'm going to give you a little guidance based on what I know when I'm photographing women, and we'll just kind of go from there." Okay, cool. Now I look at that picture. As much as they loved their picture, I look at that, and honestly, I know I shouldn't do this, but I kind of cringe a little bit because of not just the photo itself. And I know I actually sent this one to you, Denise, and it was kind of like, okay, I want to kind of give you pretty much my worst of the worst. And they loved it. They bought this picture, but then you'll see the after here in a little bit of what Strip Down did for me. And I still in communication with these people, and they actually want to come back and do another session based off of my new work.
Yes. I cannot wait for you to get them back in the studio. I'm so excited to see that. And wow, I can't believe what you've been able to do in the last 2 years. I'm really proud of you. And I can't even imagine what you're going to do. Like, if y'all aren't watching Dan, you probably need to, because he's going to skyrocket now that you have the methodology. Quick question. I'm going to go a little bit off track. That was a lot of shooting that you did. Since starting the Strip Down class, have you noticed your sales going up?
I was hoping you'd get to this. Yes, I've actually taken on less sessions because now my increases have even gone up. I've actually rebooked 7 people that were previous to Strip Down because they saw my work since Strip Down and said, "I want to come back now." 2 of those ladies have already been in. One is next week. Those 2 ladies, not only did they spend money before last year, and the year one was from 2020 as well. Their sales are now over $5,000, both of them. Strip Down has transformed not just the way I do my photography, but my wallet. Allowed me to do more. But it really comes down to changing their life, and they're also blessing me by changing my life through that as well. So thank you, Denise. I could not have done this without you. Even 11 years of doing this, I couldn't.
Well, I appreciate your kind words, but I'm going to throw that back at you and say, all I did was provide you with a safe environment to grow and learn and give you knowledge. You're the one who did the work. You did the work. I held your hand and I held you up and I loved you through it, but you're the one who did the work, and you're amazing. And people are asking how they can follow you, Dan.
Sure. I've got everything. I've got a women's group that is amazing, but unfortunately I do not allow photographers in there. There's reasons why, but of course my Instagram is my most popular. It's just DC Ketchum Photography. I'm on TikTok. It's DC Ketchum Photo. And then of course my actual Facebook page is just DC Ketchum Photography. It's all one word, DC KETCHAM Photography.
Not the U.
Not U.
Okay, awesome. So just hands up in here. How many of you are ready to see his after work? Because I know I am. Oh, all my students are like, yeah, we want to see it. I want to see in the comments. I want you guys participating with us. Come on. And this is what I do in QAs. I do not let you guys sit around and not do the stuff. Like, I want to see that you, okay, here we go. Here we go. I want to see some more. Give me some more people. Interact with us. Okay. Ooh, now they're begging for it. Okay. So let's take a look at Dan's after. Oh, they're like, show us, Dan. Come on, show us. Here we go. What the fuck? Are you kidding me right now? Like, are you kidding me? Like, woo! This is God damn, that's beautiful. Can I just go back for a second real quick? There we go. That's where we started before Strip Down. And wow.
So hot.
I'm gonna cry, Dan. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I am so incredibly proud of you.
Thank you.
What is it that made it different?
Can I answer that in this allotted time? I don't think any of us can.
I know. It's so hard to sell Stripped Down because it's so big and huge, and it's so hard to like articulate to people all of the things that it's going to do for them. Hopefully, Gabby's going to be able to do that for me.
Yeah.
Gabby's like, oh shit.
Well, and that's I don't want to take away from any of these ladies because every single one of them have completely inspired me throughout these 12 weeks that we shared together. So how do I say what changed?
What
Honestly,
is the biggest thing that changed?
It's still tough to really, really answer that because it really comes down to not only finding my own emotions a little more because I am actually a very emotional person. I have been my entire life. And I'm alone a lot. Being a solopreneur is very hard, but the emotional attachment that we created, not just in, hey, here's a pose, go do it, but it was how we got there. One of the weeks that I hated that I think you remember I hated was the selfie week. But that was
Everybody
the week.
hates that.
But that was the week that I think that it finally kind of started snapping and kicking in. Because I've already been doing photos, so I didn't have to worry about that stuff. I like that we never even talked about photography in essence, that it was all about what the mind and body needed and to connect those two things and to put that through the lens, through that camera, but get those people to interact and how to really do that. So no, you can't put how to sell Strip Down in one little sentence. It is that 12 weeks was intense, but it was probably the best 12 weeks that I've had in my 12 years of doing business.
Oh, these are amazing. Are you ready for 20 weeks? Because we're doing 20 weeks the next round.
I was signing up already, so yes.
20 full weeks. And I'm going to drive to Ohio and get you and bring you to a workshop, just so you know.
My wife and I were talking about it tonight, so yes.
Yes. These are beautiful. Super proud of you. You did amazing. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to be bringing you back in, okay?
Thank you.
Okay. So everybody, let's give a big round of applause to Dan. Woohoo! Yeah, killing it. And next up, excuse me, we have Jamie. And Jamie's one of the students from this past Strip Down as well. Hello, beautiful.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Can you come a little bit closer to your mic, my love?
Sure. Is that better?
That's wonderful.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'll talk.
So Jamie is also another one of my amazing Strip Down students who also took this very seriously, invested in herself. You guys, this is really about investing in yourself. It's not do as I do photography education or do as I say. And if you don't do it the way I tell you to, I'm going to yell at you. Or if you disagree with me, I'm going to kick your ass out of my group or any of that kind of stuff. This is really like doing a lot of deep work, but with a lot of support and a lot of love, and then giving a lot of support and a lot of love. And Jamie, you truly showed up for yourself and for everybody around you during this class. And my heart is so incredibly grateful to be part of your journey and to have watched your transformation and to have gone through all of this with you. You're doing amazing. And I'm really excited. I know that you're going to be coming back with us in the 20-week program, and I'm super excited to get you back in class. Can't wait to get my hands on you again. But your transformation was absolutely brilliant as well. So we're going to start with some of your before work, Miss Jamie. And then, so this is some of Jamie's before work. And this is what I would call our typical boudoir. Jamie's like putting her head down like, oh shit, don't do that. It's okay. because a lot of people who are in here right now, this is what they're shooting, right? This is what we know. This is kind of industry standard. This is what we know boudoir photography to be. This is what we're taught by all of the educators within the industry. These are the posing guides that we get. Like, this is what we learn, and it's okay. We're on a journey. It is a journey. So don't you put your head down. You hold your head high because you're a badass woman, and I love you, and you're amazing.
I
So
love you.
awesome. So this is Jamie's before work, and now we're gonna. Are you kidding me? And this is what we create. Yeah, I know. Like, bananas, beautiful. This is, dude, gorgeous, absolutely phenomenal. I'm so proud of you. It's insane. Like, this is gorgeous. So talk to me a little bit about your personal transformation and strip down.
Okay, so personally, I kind of struggled in terms of being. Now I say that I'm an artist now, which is a big deal for me because before I never would say that. I would be like, no, I'm not, that sort of thing. And taking this course has really helped me to grow into that and to take up that space of being an artist. And that's a big deal. And so now I say, yes, this is my art. And when I say that, I feel such pride in what I create now, and I think that with the course, it kind of blows you open because you have to be vulnerable in order to get all the goodness out of it. And so it blows you open in a good way because now you're so much more aware. And I think that with that awareness that I have now, I reach clients on so much of a deeper level. The sort of just the sort of experience I'm able to give them now as opposed to before. Oh my gosh, it's so different. And there's so many of my clients that are saying that have shot with me last year because I only started boudoir back in 2021 at the beginning of January. And they have been contacting me and saying, oh my gosh, your images, I want to come back. So it's really...
That's so awesome. That is so good. Someone asked in here, and I think this is a really good question. What helped you the most to see yourself as an artist? And Crystal Rodriguez asked that question.
Wow, Crystal, that's I think just it's not just no. It's that's such a loaded question. It was a culmination of everything that we did. Because this course, as if you have been on the previous lives for this week and stuff, you would know that this is a very extensive course. It is the bomb. And so every little piece of it has really helped in making the whole thing just help you come out of it on the other end feeling like, okay, yes, I'm an artist now. I don't know if some of the other classmates can kind of help me out with that question.
Anybody want to chime in and help with that? Okay. Let me get to that. Okay, come on in, Kaylee.
Yeah. So I think really what it came down to for me of going from like just a photographer to an artist is the imagery that I was providing. It wasn't just cookie cutter boudoir. It wasn't cookie cutter glamour. We were creating emotions and body language that is reminiscent of Renaissance paintings and the art history that we're also taught along this journey, and seeing like it's just a different medium. We aren't using a paintbrush, but we're still painting with light. And we're setting ourselves apart. So we're not kind of fitting into that general mold that tends to happen in our industry. And we learn how to get creative and do things that we normally wouldn't think about doing during a session. And I think that that's really where the breakthrough was for me, is like seeing myself as an artist versus just a photographer.
Come on in, Dan.
both of you had amazing answers. I'm not taking away from those. Great answers. Very true. So one thing I was thinking about while both of you were talking is these aren't just poses anymore. So that's what I feel took me from being a photographer for 12 years or 11 years to now an artist, a boudoir artist, is because these aren't poses. It actually was asked yesterday in one of the lives about how many poses do you do or blah, blah, blah. This isn't about posing anymore. You don't look at a posing guide and go, okay, now move this arm and do this. No, we don't do that shit anymore. That's what creates you as an artist, is separating yourself from everything else, because everybody can buy a camera. Anybody on here or anybody in the world can go buy exactly the same gear that we have, but it's what are you doing with that camera and the experience you're creating for your clients.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more. Okay. Gabby needs to come in now too. Let's just get everybody's perspective on this.
This is going to be quick. And just to complement what the others have said, now my clients feel the same way. They don't see a pretty picture of themselves. They see a picture of themselves and they think, wow, I really am a work of art.
Yes.
Yes.
That's so true. Oh my gosh, that's a great answer, Bobby.
Very good, Aunt Gabby. Yes.
I think each one of them were beautiful answers. And I think as the person who leads this class, as the person who's bringing the education, as the mentor, so to speak, I work very, very hard, ridiculously hard because I'm so passionate about this, to kind of strip down your walls and shine a light on that imposter syndrome shit, and let you guys know that you're in a safe place and we can actually explore that imposter syndrome stuff and where we're not feeling like artists, because usually when we're feeling like that, it's a deep intuition about a skill set that we're missing. And so we figure out those skill sets that we are missing in a safe place where there's no judgment, and then we work on them and we grow. And we grow in so many different ways. There's a huge art history class that's part of the stripped down course, which most people are like, what the fuck? Why are you teaching art history? It's important. We need to know that we are artists and we do need to understand art and all of the things that go along with it, and that our medium is an art form. And then we need to become vulnerable and kind of voice all of our fears, even if it's just with ourselves, share our fears, shine a light on those fears, and then start actively working to overcome those fears. And we overcome those fears week after week after week after week, along with our classmates who are doing it as well, and with me leading it and holding your hand. If you're having trouble, you're going to get a phone call from Denise saying, what's going on? What can I help you with? If you need me, you send me a message. I'm not that educator who's like, don't DM me on Facebook because I'm not going to respond to you. I'm the bitch who's like, pick up the phone and call me if you need me. I'm here for you. And your classmates are like that as well. You guys experience that with all of your peers as well. So I think that was a very tough question to answer, but it was a great question. They leveled up. They leveled the fuck up because they broke themselves down. They looked at all of the places where they needed to grow. And then together we worked on growing. And the course is built very systematically, without you guys knowing what's happening. I'm subconsciously taking you through a process of growth, right? That's how this works. And in the end, we get there. And we're no longer imposters. We're no longer not good enough. We're no longer any of that bullshit. We're no longer struggling to pose. Like Dan said, we don't do that shit. Strip down alumni, we don't do that shit. We don't struggle to pose because we understand we're not just posing. We're telling intimate, wondrous worlds of our clients. And this is art. Unequivocally, this is art. And we execute it beautifully. But we have to go through the process of learning. And this is the thing, you guys. This is the missing thing in the industry. This is the thing that's missing. Colleen, any questions come up that we needed to answer?
Yes. Someone
Okay.
Brittany wants to know, when you first started using this methodology, did you do a model call and kind of just try it out, or did you literally just start doing it with the next client?
Can I take that? And then you guys can answer what you did. What I recommend is that they do model calls and that they don't do this with paying clients, because your paying clients deserve all of you, not you fumbling trying to figure this out. That's my personal opinion. And that's what I suggest that everyone does. But everybody does it differently. Again, this is not just do as I say. Whatever works well for you, I want you guys to do, but that is my heartfelt suggestion. Kaylee, how did you do it?
Yeah, I did the way that you recommended, because there was, especially just learning it, there was a lot of fumbling and things that I wasn't totally confident in doing right away. That I practiced with friends to start. I just had a couple of my friends come over and we did the assignments, and I practiced the method with them. So there was kind of also the no judgment of if I screwed up. And then, I started using it with paying clients after my first go around of Strip Down.
How about you, Dan?
So I did it the way you recommend in the class, with the exception of I allowed the ladies, men or couples, to also include if they wanted to do for hair and makeup, even though I know that wasn't a prerequisite, because I felt if they're coming in anyways, I want to make sure that their work was a little there, but yes, it was a model call, but I didn't charge any of them to do it. Now, did I make sales off of them? Oh yes, I still make sales off of them.
Yeah, that's awesome. What about you, Jamie?
So I decided that I would do it with it was 3 past clients that came back in 2021. And so, because I wanted to hear their perspective of how it was different. And so I had them come in. So they were past clients, but I didn't do a model call for this. So they had already shot with me before.
Okay. Gabby, how about you, babe?
Since that was my first time doing the class this January, I just did the way that you recommended in class, and I just did a free model call. And actually, I've had client referrals from them because they had such a great experience.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, awesome. Were there any other questions that we needed to answer real quick?
Right now, so
Okay, we're gonna keep going then. Okay, Jamie, I'm so proud of you, and I cannot wait to see you for the next iteration. I miss our weekly Q&As. I miss your guys' faces. I cannot wait to get back into class. Oh my God. My Thursdays are so damn boring without you guys. Oh man. Need you guys back on Thursdays. Okay. So now we have Kaylee. And so Kaylee's actually been with me for 2 versions of Strip Down. She's done this twice. And I believe you're coming back for the 20 week as well, aren't you?
Heck yeah, I am.
Awesome. So this is Kaylee, and she's with Flirty Boudoir, and we're going to take a look at her before work. And again, we see stuff that is very typical of what we see in all of the groups and what we see on lots of, photographer sites and Instagrams and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's nothing. And again, this is not like the shame game, guys. Nobody here should be ashamed of the work that they're creating right now. That's really important to note. If you're here, you might be here to win the free flow posing guide. And that's okay. If you're I'm not going to take the class, but I really want the free flow posing guide. At least you're showing up for yourself. At least you're wanting to grow, right? There's no shame in that. Anytime we're working to grow, that's awesome. And we all start from somewhere. That's just how it is, right? So no shame in our games. Wherever we are is exactly where we're supposed to be at the time. And then we put one foot in front of the other. And when we do put one foot in front of the other, that's what fucking happens. One foot in front of the other. We walk all the way and Strip Down. We walk all the way. I might scare people at this point. I don't give a shit. We walk all the way through our vulnerabilities, right up to the edge of our fear. And then we dip our little toes in that pond of fear. And that's where all the growth happens. And that's where Kaylee made this magic happen. This is fucking amazing. You are incredible. What a transformation. I cannot wait to watch every single one of you become some of the industry leaders. Like you guys are going to skyrocket. Like it's just fucking amazing. And whether you become industry leaders or not, I don't know. I don't know if you even give a fuck about the industry, to tell you the truth. Maybe you just want beautiful, amazing work that you're able to give your clients and experiences that are like nothing else that they get to experience. Kaylee, talk to me about your afters, because what
Yeah.
the
So a fun fact, the model in the middle is the same model from the before slide on the green wall, taken
Let me take it back
exact.
for a second. There we go. So here she is right here.
Yep. That was after one of your lives where I was just trying things. And it was pretty fumbly because it was just off of an example. She's also the friend that lit the fire under my ass to sign up for this course. And that photo in the middle was exactly 13 weeks later. And she
Wait a minute.
has
I'm sorry. Hold on. So you took this after a live.
Mhm.
You signed up for the course, and 13 weeks later, you took this.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yep.
This is amazing.
She has expressed she's one of my best friends. She's always here and still is like, I can't believe how much has changed. And we've been working together for almost 7 years. And she's like, your work is completely different. I don't question what, like, as a model in front of the camera, she's like, I don't question what I have to do next because you're already taking me there. And I'm not concerned about what should I do with my face or what should I do with my hands because you're already taking me there. So that for me is a big part of what Strip Down did for me. And I'm going to kind of answer a question that you asked Dan earlier of like, what's like the biggest change? The truth is it was me. Strip Down changed me as a person, not just as a photographer. It changed my life, which is why I came back a second time. It's the reason I'm coming back for the 20-week course. The support system of the classmates when some of us struggle through the weeks was really special. You, again, I was having some hard times and you were calling me and being my support system. It's opened me up on my daily life as well to kind of handle my own emotions. And then now I get to connect with my clients in a way that I never did before. And it was that thing that was missing for me. Like I was always taking pretty pictures, but I was connecting and having fun with my clients. But like now it's like a lifelong connection with all of my clients. And the same thing with many of my classmates. So that's it. I changed.
Yeah. Wow. And so did your work. And I am so incredibly honored and so amazingly grateful to have had the pleasure of getting to know you and now having you be part of my life, like from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for allowing me to earn your trust and for going on this journey with me. And I will be forever grateful to be part of this. And I am so proud of the things that you're doing in the world and the things that you've done for yourself, like showing up for yourself and allowing Strip Down not to just change your work, but to also let it change and improve your own life. The more we can show up for ourselves, the better we are to ourselves, the more personal growth that we can experience, the bigger impact that we can have, like all the way around. So Kaylee, I want you to know I'm so incredibly proud of you. Someone asked a question. They said, where did it go? In what ways do you think Strip Down impacted your life? I know that Kaylee, you said, it's helped you open up in your personal life, but does anybody else want to touch on that one? Or Kaylee, do you want to expand on that? Okay,
Yeah,
Dan
I'll
wants to-
expand just a little bit, and then Dan, I'll let you, because I know you did a lot with this as well. For me, there were a lot of emotions first starting that I wasn't totally comfortable showing myself, and I had to work at being okay with those feelings. And in doing that through the course and for my clients, I'm now able to be a bit more expressive with those feelings in my day-to-day life. And that's where it's really helped me personally versus just with the work.
Awesome. Dan?
Kaylee, great answer. That's pretty much what I was going to say. So yes, but it made me get out of my own way. Does that make sense? I mean, as a male, I especially, not that any of you ladies have it easy to photograph boudoir. I'm never, ever saying that. As a male, I already have one big, huge thing against me. What it also allowed me to do, and Denise, you actually said at the beginning of the day today, was how males are known, interestingly, let's just leave it at that, but that this allowed me to get out of my own head of, wait a minute, yes, these ladies know that I'm a male. Okay, cool. Fuck it. That's done. That's over. I don't know why it took me 12 years to finally realize that. And I think it was week, like, I'm going to say it was 6 or 7 in your course, that it was finally like, there it is. Get out of my own fucking way. Get out of my own head. And it changed me as a person, not just as a photographer. But then now, I've been married to my wife for 20 years soon, 26 years together, and I'm treating her differently or responding to her emotions better than I did before this course. I'm treating my kids with more empathy than I have before this course. And I'm also transforming the lives of ladies that are not ever going to see this live, that I'm changing their life because now they can walk a little taller, knowing that I transformed their life by their emotions that I connected them with, that maybe they were ashamed to show themselves.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Gabby,
Yeah,
Jamie, do
this
you want to jump in on it? Yeah. Come on in, Gab.
Yeah, I would have to say my story is pretty similar to Kaylee's in terms of what she shared. I was like that self-proclaimed ice queen. Emotions are not something that I felt safe having when I was growing up. So I was like, nobody can fuck with me. Nobody can hurt me because you can't, And over the past decade, I've been slowly unwinding that. And this course was just it was so practical along that journey, just like so fucking practical. Like step by step, this is what you need to do. Here's science and here's emotion, and here are how they work together. So it's not like I feel like there's a lot out there that might education, both in photography and outside, that might feel like a little woo-woo to some people, or it might feel a little bit like too hazy or nebulous. And this, for a brain like mine, it was so specific that I actually understood what emotions actually looked like when I didn't have experience feeling them before. And that helped feel them. It's the actual science behind it that Denise dives like into for weeks and never stops talking about it, which is great because this is how we learn, repetition. But it's this practical experience of seeing what an emotion looks like, and then practicing it myself, and then that being a gateway to feeling it myself. And then I feel like with my partner, it's easier for me to talk about emotions and stuff like that. With my friends, it's easier for me to open up with them and just be myself with them, and they feel like they can do the same with me. Like they feel more able to open up to me, because what I learned was not just the emotions, but also like holding that safe space and just being with people as they feel these emotions, which maybe some people who went through certain types of training, like therapists or whatever, they might, or teachers, they might experience that. But most of us have not gone through that kind of training. So giving me those skills to just sit with and be with emotions and recognize them, so that I can notice now if somebody's feeling uncomfortable, or if somebody is feeling really happy, or if somebody's feeling some way. Like, I'm so much more tuned into that in everybody that I encounter in my life, and I can respond to them better in the way that fits what they need in the moment, versus like what I think, less brain, more heart.
I'm so proud of you, Gabby, and I'm so happy that I've been able to be part of that journey. And you said something really important. It is actually connection. It's like pulling together the brain and the heart. I'm like you. I can't handle all of the woo-woo stuff. I know people probably listen to me and think like, wow, this girl is all like fluff and stuff. Like it's all the feels and all the emotion and all of the intangibles, right? But my brain does not work well with intangibles. There has to be something like, oh my God, give me a math problem and I'm going to throw it right back at you. I don't give a fuck about that math problem. But if you give me a math problem where there's money involved, I'm solving that problem like that, right? So it's the same thing with this methodology, right? Like if you give me something completely abstract and I don't have something that's like grounded to go with it, I have so much trouble with it. So it's a melding of like the heart and the mind, like the science and the emotion, and them coming together. They have to come together for us to be fully aware and present of what it is we're doing. In order to create the way that we create, but also to live the way that we live. Like it gives us a better understanding of why we behave the way we behave, and how to better interact with the people that we love and care about, and or how to get out of situations with people that we don't want to be in situations with. Like it just opens so much up for us, in my opinion.
Can I add one more thing that just came into my head as what impact did this have on your life? Y'all, I can understand and connect with other art so much better now. As somebody who was like pretty closed off emotionally, to somebody who now understands what they look like, oh my God, I can actually pick up like that subtext that I was missing out on my whole freaking life in like paintings and photographs and movies and all this kind of stuff. There were so many forms of art that I was just like, it's just a picture, it's just a picture of some people. I mean, it's like there's something about it, but I don't really know. So I don't really know what the story is. And now I see the stories. It's amazing. I love it so much. I feel like I just get so much more out of art now.
It's funny. This is going to be a little bit of a tangent. I'll try and be quick about it. I remember when Breaking Bad came out, and you're like, what are you talking about, Denise? Just bear with me, guys. Get used to this shit, especially if you're going to sign up for the course. I remember when Breaking Bad came out, and my husband kept saying, you have to watch this with me. You have to watch this with me. You have to watch this with me. And I would sit down and I would watch like the first 5 minutes of it. And I would just be like, ugh. And I didn't know, I couldn't figure out what the fuck it was, but I couldn't sit there and watch it. I couldn't. It just, it felt so bad and creepy. And nothing serious was happening. They were just in a trailer in that first episode. But I was just like, ugh, like I can't. And I would get up and walk away and be like, watch it by yourself. And he kept trying and he kept trying and he kept trying. And finally one day it like hit me like a ton of bricks. There's this lime green color through all of it. And if you know anything about colors actually make you feel different things. Green actually makes you feel uncomfortable, like not at ease and anxious. And as soon as I recognized, oh my God, they're doing this on purpose to make me feel this way, I was like, oh, I gotta watch this because I gotta see what they're going to do, right? Like, this is fucking brilliant. And then I kept watching and I was like, holy shit, this is shot on film. This isn't digital. Well, okay, now I'm even more in, right? And we all know it's like one of the great dramas, created in TV. But there's so much art like that. Like, you watch a Kubrick film and like you watch a Kubrick film after taking Stripped Down and you're just going to be like mind blown. Like, everybody who's thinking about watching Stripped Down, go ahead and go watch The Shining or go watch Space Odyssey or Eyes Wide Shut or any of the great Kubrick films. Watch it now. And then after you take Stripped Down, go back and watch that shit again. And you're going to be like, holy shit. The amazing things that this man did telling this beautiful story and the emotion and the art and everything he did. Like, Gabby's right. There is going to be an entirely new subtext to your life, not just art, but to your life. There's like this underlying subtext, which is our subconscious, that we don't pay attention to because it's on autopilot. But once we kind of like awaken it, then it comes into play. It's amazing. So we don't have before and after pictures of Gabby because Gabby has not been feeling very well, and we love you and we're so grateful that you're here. But Gabby's before and afters are amazing as well, and we will be sharing them as soon as we possibly can. But I want to thank you guys all so much for being here. So we have some questions specifically for Dan. So being a man in the boudoir industry has its own set of issues. So how do you think Stripped Down helped you with your client experiences and your ability to connect with your clients? And I'd also love to hear your perspective from a male boudoir photographer's point of view with imposter syndrome, and then why men should sign up for this course.
Whew. Okay. That's a lot.
Sorry. That's a lot.
But I love to talk anyways. I want to start with the second one. I have always dealt with imposter syndrome. It has crippled me for a lot. And honestly, imposter syndrome is so bad that I didn't sign up for Stripped Down 2 different times. I originally wanted to take it in 2019, and then again when you offered it in 2021, because I believe 2020 was a weird one. But I didn't take it because I didn't feel I was even good enough to take your course.
Oh.
And so I constantly deal with imposter syndrome. But since Stripped Down, I really don't. Occasionally that little like devil on my shoulder will kick in, but that is a rare occasion, because what I was finding myself doing for a long, long time was I would scroll, like we all do, we all scroll. And I was watching a lot of other photographers. Then I'd be like, okay, I think I could do that. And then I'd try it and I couldn't do it, or whatever. Or I would look at their work and go, fuck, that's amazing. I want to do stuff like that. And then I was like, well, I suck. No matter what I thought, I have some of the best gear that I need, all of that stuff. I can create different sets, different lightings. I know how to run a camera. I mean, I learned on film camera back in 1992 was my first camera that I bought. But I still felt like something was always missing. And I was watching these other people like you and a couple others that I won't name. And I'm like, man, what was it that they did? And so it would cripple me. And I wouldn't even want to share my work because I was like, nope, I'm not good enough. Even though I had paying clients that were doing everything, they were loving their images, I still felt like I wasn't good enough. I was thinking about that recently before I was even asked to come onto this about my imposter syndrome, because I don't find myself scrolling to compare myself to anybody else's work anymore. I don't find myself even looking really for inspiration from anybody else anymore, other than the ladies that I took this course along with. And
hallelujah.
Yourself, because none of them are creating anything like what I can create now. And so it took my imposter syndrome and literally kicked it to the curb. now my imposter syndrome is because I want to do better still. So I still feel like, okay, you can do better, but that's just me. I like to push myself. I like to be busy.
That's not imposter syndrome. That's grow. That's wanting to grow. And I just need to tell you, I just need to say really quickly, you just said, because of you, I no longer have imposter syndrome. And I have to throw that back at you once again, because it's not because of me. I'm not the one who did the work. I'm not the
You're right.
one
You
who
didn't.
showed up for myself.
You're
You
right.
did the work. Now, I'm not going to say I'm a badass instructor and I have like the best material in the industry for boudoir education surrounding this. Period. End of story. So I'm not taking away from how awesome I am, because I'm fucking amazing. And every single person in here needs to sign up for this class because it's that good and I'm that much of a badass. But babe, you took your imposter syndrome away. I didn't. I gave you the space to be free. I took away all of the social constraints. I took away the oppression. I took away all of the bullshit. All
Yeah.
of the shit that has been programmed into you guys. I eliminated all of it. And I created a safe space and gave you guys the tools and the knowledge that you needed to learn and grow. And you're the one who did the work.
Thank you.
You own that shit and you be proud of it.
And I
Good.
should. I do. I am very proud of what I have done, what I've accomplished. And I think that's one of the reasons why I don't sit there and I scroll. Not that I'm not scrolling. I still scroll. But I'm not looking at that work going, oh, I want to do stuff like that. No, fuck that. I don't. But Denise, do you remember when I sent you that message? And maybe I think I even posted it on our student group. Denise, you gave me wings to fly that I didn't know that I needed. So you can throw it back and forth as much as you want, but there's a reason that I invested in you. There's a reason that I was put into the group with these other ladies that absolutely blow me away weekly. It's so good to be back on a Thursday night.
I know.
So yes, imposter syndrome is real. It is going to happen no matter what, but you just have to know. And we're going to kind of go back to that artistry thing, that you're an artist, that you can't even think or worry about what anybody else is doing because of what you're going to be able to create. I was recently at Shutterfest, which if anybody doesn't know, Shutterfest is a very kind of a big one. It's not WPPI or anything, but I worked with a couple models that's not boudoir really related at all, but I was there and I worked with a couple models, and two of them mentioned to me that I had a different energy and a different direction that any other photographer that was there was able to give them. I had one of them specifically reach out to me to book a session, and she is coming next month from Illinois to come here for me because we met briefly in a class and she saw my connection.
That's amazing.
So do I care about imposter syndrome anymore? Fuck no, because I don't have time for that. I'm too busy changing the lives of women to worry about that shit anymore.
Woo! Get it. You're awesome. We have a song now. I have to dedicate a song to you. I don't know the name of it, but it's that NXS song where he says, and we all have wings, but some of us just don't know why.
Yeah.
Two worlds collided. What is that song? That's our song, Dan. That's now our song. I'm going to find it and send it to you. We have our own song now.
Thank you. So the main question is, being a man in the industry has its own set of issues. How has Strip Down helped me with my client experience and ability to connect? So I kind of hit on it earlier, but I've always kind of talked about my sales technique is that I don't do photo shoots, that I do create boudoir experiences. Now, that was leading up to January 12th of 2022. January 12th was when we started Strip Down course. Now it truly became a true boudoir experience that elevated it up than I've ever done before. How? Okay, first and foremost, I can connect with these ladies faster than I've ever done. Originally, at the beginning, I talked about, I used to get like one or two pictures at like the end of the session, and I'm talking a 90-minute session with these ladies, that I finally get them to like break down their walls and get some badass imagery that always looked like Denise's work. And now, I'm not kidding, I can get that within the first 3 minutes. And it's through the training that happened. And I'm talking like that first 3 minutes, and that's actually kind of an exaggeration, because first and foremost, they're going to come in, they're going to get their hair and makeup done. They do that. I talk with them a little bit, but I don't really spend too much, what did you call it? brain time on them. I forget how you worded it, but I don't spend too much time sitting here and talking much with them anymore. But through your course, I was able to transform how I did my sessions so that it better does suit them to be more comfortable, not only with a male. And actually, I love to talk about this because she came into me. I had this woman come in. Her mom bought her a session. Her mom, I photographed a couple of years ago, bought her this session. And because she's dealing with some body issues, things like that. She's got everybody has body issues. Okay. She comes in, we go through the session. I kind of, in my pre-session questionnaire, I asked them their levels of comfort that they want to kind of be photographed at. And one of them is up to topless or past that, you know. And she kind of dabbled and left 2 answers. And I go, well, you know, that's normal. So we get there. Long story short, at the end of the session, she goes, Dan, I never would have thought I would have been comfortable with a male that I didn't know standing above me with a camera with my boobs out as comfortable I am with you. And so the comfort is really what I have transformed even more. Now, I know part of that is how I do everything else. This is more than just strip down, but strip down helped me give part that missing piece that I had to create that comfort. And it created more of an experience so that I'm not just taking pretty pictures anymore. I'm able to separate myself from every other photographer. And I am in a saturated market. I am in a very saturated market. One of my quote unquote competitions was in my course together. And we talked, you know, there was nothing there, but like, we're far enough, but it wasn't competition, but she is. I'm in a very saturated market, but now I have those ladies continuing to come in and say how comfortable they are, how my experience has trumped other people's experiences, or how they felt because I've changed a lot of my wording. I've changed my website. I've changed a whole bunch of other things based off of this course because it truly was those wings that I needed to fly. And so I was able to do that. So now I create that comfort that allows me to break down walls that are there. And so I can connect with them on so much of a deeper level. And I never talk about, oh, hey, we're going to do this and this and this and this. I just tell them, are you ready to change your life? Because that's what this boudoir experience is going to do. Because I changed my life, and I don't tell them this, but I changed my life by taking strip down. Plain and simple. And I'm not getting paid to do any of this. I'm sorry. I'm not getting paid to say any of it.
He's honestly not. I'm not paying him shit. None of them are. Thank you, Dan. Thank you for answering those questions. That's awesome. I think those answers that Dan just gave us relate to like so many of us, though. It is from the male perspective, but I think we all like really feel those things. I have some more questions for the panel, and I'm going to let you guys go ahead, babe.
Wait, can I add one more thing? I'm sorry, because I forgot, because you just kind of said it. So about why guys should take this course. I'm in male boudoir groups, boudoir photographer groups. We all know that there's a million groups out there. We're all part of a million groups. I'm in ones that are specifically for males. And I was called a unicorn in one of them. And I thought it was funny because I'm a successful male Christian, married, that consistently is booking. And one of my reasons why I'm able to do this is the strip down course, but also there's that comfort level that goes with it. So do I believe that males should do this? Yes. I already said it once, but I'm going to say it again. That week where you finally said to me, like, Dan, they know they're coming to you to do this. It was literally that trigger of turning on a light going, fuck, okay, I can do this. 2 poses that I would have never done before stripped down are 2 of my now most sold poses. And they were, and I say poses, sorry, emotional connection poses. When I say that, I literally have poses in my head that I think about when I get to these ladies. Of course, we all do that. So they are now my most sold photos, and I was not doing them 6 months ago. They are my most sold photos. So can a male do this? Yes. But you need to know your reason first and foremost. If you were even remotely in this for the wrong reason, get the fuck out of here. We do not need you. We don't want you. There's no reason for that. You have to have the right reasons for this. Now, is every male right for boudoir? I actually will say no. If you do not have a good support system, first and foremost, your significant other. I have a very, very supportive wife, not just because I make a shit ton of money now, but she is supportive. Okay. But there was a time where I was not allowed to do boudoir whatsoever. Okay. And I respect that, and I honor that, and I treasure that. And every day we actually have a connection. She is one of my guardrails. She sees every photo that I take, and I'm talking every raw image. And now that I'm taking strip down, fuck, I'm taking 700 pictures in a session. But so it's a guardrail. So can a male do this? Yes. But first and foremost, check your ego at the fucking door, because it's not about you. It's about the connection and what you're creating for that client.
And I'm sorry, I'm going to have to say that to all of our female boudoir photographers as well. If you're not in this for the right reason, or you don't understand your why, or you are objectifying women, and yes, in this industry, we call it empowerment. But if you don't give your clients agency, there's a tremendous amount of objectification that's going on. And that's perpetuated by mostly females within this industry. So you need to understand your why. And if you think you might be one of them, if you're one of the tits and ass mills, take the class. Just take the fucking class. You won't be anymore. And it's okay. We are where we are, but we can always get better. We can always grow and do better. Dan, you're brilliant. Thank you so much for those amazing answers. Cheers to you, my love. Okay, so first question, did you have any reservations about taking the course? And then what finally made you pull the trigger to sign up? Who wants to answer that one? Okay, come on in, Kaylee.
Okay. So like Dan, Denise, I had been following you and attending your lives, crossing my fingers that I was going to win multiple times. And for me, it was always the like, oh, I can't spend that money, right? Like it was always, for whatever reason, I had an excuse of why I couldn't spend it, right? You had offered it just before the pandemic, and then that was supposed to be, I think, kind of the last time this was going to happen. And I kicked myself. I kicked myself for not signing up for that. So when I found out that the opportunity arose again, I called my best friend and I was like, I need to do this, right? Like, and she was like, of course you do. Like, yes, do it. You know, we had the different options of how to handle it. And I just jumped ship and I signed up for it. And the truth is, like, I paid for it in one session. That's all it took me after taking the class.
I was going to ask about that. The ROI on this course is like, I don't know. I think the ROI on this course is way higher than any of the promises that you get from all of the business courses and all of that kind of shit, because you're actually leveling up your work. And it's not like you're like churn and burn. Like you're not buying like, you know, a model call guide and like go prospecting and get into people's DMs and do all of this stuff that is not sustainable. And you can't create a legacy business that way. The ROI on this course is amazing without adding any type of marketing. Even if you did zero marketing, and you just showed the work that you were creating, the ROI on this course is crazy. And as a matter of fact, like for the next course, the prices are going way up because I'm always telling you guys to value yourselves, and I need to do the same. The cost of this course is far too low for the amount of work that I put into it. And so the next iteration of Strip Down is probably going to be close to double what it currently is. Just because I know that you guys can make that money back within 1 to 2 sessions. No problem. No problem at all.
It was immediate. I had plenty of people who were coming in, and it was like they had a set idea of what they thought they were going to get. I personally offer digitals outside of having to, also buy an album or some sort of print product. And everyone was like, oh, I'm just going to get, like the 5 digital package, whatever the lowest option is that I offered. And every single person that I have done a session with since has upgraded from what they said they were going to do after seeing their images. And I just had like Dan, I had someone who worked with me just before the pandemic hit. She has since moved states, and she just reached out to me and prepaid for my highest session fee and my highest package without question, because she saw the change in my work. And money, I will say this 100 times, money is not the most important thing that you get out of this course. But it comes like it's a bonus, like to everything else that we get with it.
Yeah. Someone asked a question in here that I want to get back to this, but someone asked a question, 2 questions actually. It says mentoring ROI. I think that meant to say mentioning ROI. How drastically did your prices change with completion of the course, knowing how to be the artist that you were meant to be? And this is by Lisa. Did anybody up their prices, or are you just selling more imagery? Both of you, go ahead.
A little bit of both. I did up my prices a little bit, but a majority of it had, because I had already known my cost of doing business. So I was already at a pretty comfortable space of what I was charging. But now it's people aren't getting that smallest package anymore. They're getting the biggest packages, or they're adding on sessions I do like by look. So they're adding on while they're here because they're having so much fun. Instead of doing my 2-look session, they're like, let's do the 5. And like, I want to put on my other outfits. And they're upgrading in the studio with me as it's happening.
Yeah, that's awesome. Dan, you'd raised your hand. Come on in.
Yeah, ROI. So yes, I raised my price. I raised my session fee just by $50 because it's just an easier number to get to. I went from $450 to $500. It is now May 19th. I raised my price 3 months ago. I have not had anybody question my session fee whatsoever, and that does not include images at all. Now, on top of that, I have had to create a whole new collection based off of my stripped down collection. And I thought to myself, I should call it the stripped down collection. I call it the signature collection, because I was having ladies buy and want more of their photos than they could actually get in any of my other collections. I got rid of, quote unquote, my true loss leader that I wasn't ever selling anyways. I completely eliminated that, created a new one, and now I'm able to even tack on like some new products, let alone just that. Because now they don't want just 2 or 3 pictures anymore, or 10 or 20 or 25, or my biggest album at that time, I still hold my albums at 50. They don't want that. They're like, how do I get almost all of these pictures? I will pay.
For all of them. That is something we hear over and over and over again. And that is something that I experience with my clients all the time. I want everything. I can't let go of any of it. It's all so different. It's all so unique. I want all of it. And so that's a big thing. When you learn the methodology, you learn how to create so much more variety that clients can't do without it. Jamie, you had your hand up as well about sales with using the stripped up method.
So definitely my sales have increased a lot. So my session fee, I increased it 100%. So I went, so I'm in Trinidad for you guys. Let me just give you guys a little backstory. And so our exchange rate is $1 is approximately $6.78 right? So my session fee went up from 1,000 to 2,000, and that's TTD. Okay, I'm talking about. And I increased my largest package by 25%, the cost, well, my selling price. And now I realize that, like, I was looking at some of my notes from before, and I had written Back in May of 2020, I wrote that I wanted, and I feel a bit ashamed about this, but I said I want to make $5,000 per shoot, right? And this is TTD, okay? So it's much less. And now I am making over 25,000 TTD per shoot.
Damn, girl. Damn, girl. That's amazing. And that's
Yeah.
without changing marketing. That's not doing like prospecting. That's not doing Google
No.
ads. That's not doing any kind of ads. It's not any of that kind of stuff. It's just based in the work that you're creating and what clients are then buying.
Yes. And
That's what I'm talking about, people.
like I have drastically increased the amount of images that I show clients now. That's another thing. With this method, I was able to go from showing clients about 30 images to showing them like between 100 and 200 now. Yeah. And so
I'm so proud of you.
And so it's bananas. It really is.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Gabby, did you have your hand raised, babe? Come on.
Yeah, just a quick story. So I haven't had a shoot since I had one shoot since the workshop because I had surgery and I'm still recovering. But I did the class in the first quarter of this year, the workshop in April. The next week I had a client, and she had prepaid for one of my lower collections that has like an album with like 30 images and the matching digitals. There was no debate in her head. She's like, yeah, I need the full digital collection and I want like a ton of wall art because this shit is going all over my house. Like the amount of pride she had in her own self that she's like, I don't want this to be hidden away. So she upgraded by like over 1,000 at the viewing session just because like it wasn't even like, should I buy it? I want them, but I don't know. It was like there was no question in her mind. It was like, yes, I'm buying all of them. Like naturally, why would I not? I can't say no to any of these. And I had to keep on reminding her when we were like picking the images for the wall art. She was having such a hard time narrowing down. I kept on having to remind her, you're gonna get these digital, and she's like, I know, but I want them all on my wall. So that's just like a fun little story. And yeah, the ROI is just like bananas, right? Is it okay, Denise, if I like quickly address one of the questions that I saw in the chat?
Yeah, babe.
Okay, somebody was asking about the time commitment, and I really just want to put this out there because I am a very, like I said, like give me some hard numbers type of person, right? And so I just wanted to share, as somebody who showed up to every single Q&A and stayed for the entire duration, watched every single lesson, did every single homework, that is a maximum of 12 hours per week. I know it sounds like a lot, but I blocked off like a day or two on my calendar to work on it. And I did literally everything that you could possibly do. So I really got the most out of it, but you don't have to quite do quite as much. The lessons themselves are like anywhere between half an hour and 2 hours, depending on the week. And then the longer weeks, the ones that were 12 hours, are the ones where I had a photo shoot that week. So there was like 3 or 4 weeks of photo shoots, I think, where we had to, or maybe like 5 or 6, I can't remember, weeks of like having a photo shoot and then posting those images to the group. So those are the most time intensive weeks. The other weeks, it's more like 1 to 4 hours. When you don't have a photo shoot. Of course, everybody knows that photo shoot weeks, it's just going to be more time intensive, especially if you're not using existing clients who are on the books. And I just also want to say that if it sounds like a lot, Denise is so good with these Q&As that they last a while. You can hop in, ask your question, and bounce. If that's what your schedule looks like that day, if you have appointments that overlap, you can post your question in the Facebook group and get it answered by Denise, even if you can't show up live. So like it can work for whatever your schedule, but I just like to put it out there to people because I was pretty shocked and overwhelmed for the first few weeks until I went and adjusted my schedule for the next few weeks moving forward. And I think that's what helped me commit to this class and get the absolute most out of this class, because I did have enough flexibility that I could go ahead and adjust my schedule. So yeah, just wanted to share that.
And we're going to be doing a couple of things for you guys for this 20-week course. We're actually going to be doing a class on time management, so that we're going to be doing a Trello tutorial on time management so that you can block your time. We do in the Q&As, if you can't show up to the Q&A, which it's better if you do, but if you cannot, you can always leave me questions and I always answer them in the Q&As, and the Q&As are recorded so you can go back and listen to them. And another thing that we're going to have this time, which is absolutely amazing, is we are going to have accountability ambassadors. So there are going to be spin-off groups where you are going to have stripped down alumni who have mastered their craft, who are going to be helping to support you through this, whether that's a little nudge to keep you going, or answering questions that you have. We're going to be creating some smaller spaces where you guys can do that. Not all of it is, I mean, there are some weeks where you can miss a couple of weeks and then like do a catch up. And there are other weeks, the practical application weeks, the weeks when we're shooting, those are the weeks, and we'll let you guys know in advance. Those are the weeks where you really want to like schedule the time to get it done, because I actually go in and do one-on-one mentoring and give you feedback on all of your homework. It is such a like, I don't know if anybody else in this industry does that. It's such an invaluable like part of this course that it's not something that you want to miss out on. So go ahead, Deb.
So along with that, not only your input every week was phenomenal, but also hearing everybody else's take on it. I honestly, if I can say this, I'm fangirling right now. I would wait to see what Gabby would say about some of our work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and one of the things talking about that time and investing in this, do you have the time to put into this class? Make the time. This is worth it. Okay. Yesterday in the live, it was asked, and it was asked by two different people, and I don't know who it was. I was trying to find it. That's what I was doing on my phone because I'm set up this way. I can't see everybody's questions as they're coming in. But yesterday it was asked, oh, can you do this on your own and just do it as we go along? Yes, you can. But I'm sorry, you're not going to really get out what you need of it. That Thursday group time was worth every penny and more. But then just the homework reviews, all of that stuff, it was something that we had to do. And honestly, okay, now that we're extending it to 20 weeks, that's a little different. But it is only one day a week in essence, or 12 hours of a week. I mean, you have what, 565,600 minutes a year? Think about that. You're divided down whatever way you want to do. You make the time for what it's worth. Your time that you're going to put into this, you'll forget about, and you're going to laugh at how much you thought about, oh, I can't take this because of the money, or I can't take this because I don't have time. Bullshit. You have the time. Quit scrolling on the phone. Get off of TikTok. Do this course.
Yeah. Another really important thing is, do you not have the time to do this? What's going to happen if you don't? And your concerns about, can you afford it? I don't know. Can you afford not to? Where are you at? You know, someone just asked, do I give one-on-one feedback every week? I do not. I am in Q&A every week. I don't get feedback on all the homework because all the homework is not practical application. And I just want to be clear, with this 20 weeks, that does not mean that it is super intensive the entire 20 weeks. The practical application stuff at the beginning of the class is really, really, really intensive. But we have a bunch of amazing guest educators who are coming in. Terry Hofford's coming in. Elena Marr, who I am partnering with, is coming in. Coastal Collective is coming in. Sean Black is coming in. Christine Tremolay is coming in. So there's more. There's a ton of people who are coming in, who are people that I really respect and admire within the industry. Carla Mason is coming in. We're gonna share all this information tomorrow. And so their weeks aren't gonna be like, super intensive Denise weeks, right? So don't let the whole it's 20 weeks now scare you, because it's not scary. Your 12 or 13 weeks with me are gonna be really intensive. And then your weeks with them are gonna be bonus weeks where you're getting like amazing stuff from other educators. And then I'm supposed to announce this tomorrow, but I already fucked up and announced it the other day when I went on my rant. I have also created a 8-week, which is probably going to grow to 12 weeks, an 8-week educated entrepreneur course, because I'm absolutely fed up with the education where you like buy a guide, and if you ask a question, you get kicked out of the fucking group, or the answer to the question is buy another guide. Is there valuable information in there? Yes. But is photography education do as I do or one size fits all? It's not, because we're all different. There's not any business education out there within the industry that teaches us the basics of being a legacy business owner. So am I going to teach you like, a bunch of like ins and outs of like Google AdWords and how to get on TikTok and like, no, I'm going to teach you how to run your fucking numbers. I'm going to teach you how to understand what profitable means. I'm going to teach you how to set up your business properly. We are definitely going to go over marketing. Elena's going to take that over. It's going to be 6 weeks of solid marketing. I'm going to give you marketing 101, but there's going to be true business education. And we're going to talk about all of the different kinds of business models that you can run. And we're going to figure out how to price ourselves properly. And we are going to learn that not one size fits all, and you don't have to do exactly what you're told. We're going to learn how to iterate, to watch our numbers. We are going to learn that entrepreneurship is not a destination. It is a journey, because I cannot tell you how many times I've had to iterate my business since I've been a business owner. And so if I just went and bought something from somebody else and slapped it on my shit, but I didn't know the whys or the hows or the whats, and I wasn't watching my numbers, well, I'm going to be that statistical photographer who is in and out of the industry within 3 years. I don't want that to be my students. So we're bringing you solid education. And I ain't going to yell at anybody who disagrees with me. Promise. And I'm not going to make you go do wacky shit to bring in clients. It's not necessary. Here I go again ranting. Sorry. Come on in, Gabby.
So your rant actually has to do with my answer to the question, the panel question. Did you have any reservations about taking the course, and what made you pull the trigger? I had a lot of reservations because I'm a fairly new business owner. I've been a photographer, probably like many of us, I've been a photographer for a lot longer than I've owned a photography business. But I'm a fairly new business owner, and I started my boudoir business about 2 years ago. And in that time, by the time I heard about Strip Down, and last fall, when you were doing your like pre-launch stuff, I was just so burnt out from like investing in education and not getting any support to implement that education, and like feeling like the ethical side or the values-based side of the business was totally ignored. Feeling like if I don't do it step by step exactly the way that it was written in a PDF document, then I will be like excluded from receiving help, because I didn't do it exactly step by step the way that it did. And if I did do it exactly step by step, there would be some nitpicky way to find out the way that I didn't do it. And then, sorry, you have to do a step by step before I can answer your question. Like that kind of thing. I just felt so burnt out from the hundreds and thousands of dollars that I had invested in education for my photography business. And I was just like, is this really gonna, like, am I just signing up for the same kind of, okay, here's a document that you can read, or like a video that you can watch, and, good luck. Have fun. Only post here when you're making 6 figures. And if you're not, then don't dare show your face at all, because you are not worthy. And it was just exhausting. I was very disillusioned. I mean, honestly, I still am. And this is like my safe little bubble. I was just very disillusioned by like the thousands that I had invested and getting nothing but like a PDF, just like feeling like I was out on my own. And the first week that we did class with you, I was like, holy shit, did I just sign up for a college class? Like, what the hell? And actually, I have never gotten so much support from any of my college professors as I did from you during this class. Like, holy fucking shit, you guys. Like, you would not even believe the amount. You will not be left high and dry to figure this out on your own. No student who signs up for this class will have to figure it out on their own.
No photographers left behind.
Yes, none. None. Like literally between Denise and your fellow students and now the accountability ambassadors, which is another, I feel like this program is proof that Denise really wants every single person to succeed because she sees where people struggle and she's putting programs in place to help them with those specific things. But between all that, like, even if it was just Denise, like you will not be left trying to figure it out on your own. It's not going to happen. Like, you have any questions, Denise is not leaving that freaking Q&A until you have your question answered, even if it's like midnight. Like, I mean, I'm exaggerating. We never were there until midnight. But I just like, I can't stress this enough that in any other education I have ever received, besides my yoga teacher training, because that was also a very intensive and intimate container with somebody who is also very invested in like the hearts of her students. Besides that, I have never received such help and genuine feeling of care from an educator ever.
Oh, thank you, Gabby. I think we had a couple of questions come up that I think are important. One of them is, how many of you had taken other courses and left learning things, but not anywhere near what you learned with Stripped Down? I've taken a couple of master boudoir classes and felt it wasn't what I expected. Where this course sounds like what I really wanted all along. I mean, that's to me, I mean, that's just like a duh answer, but I don't know. How are you guys feeling about that?
It's a duh answer. I'm
Just
first off,
take
I'm
the
going
course,
on this one.
guys.
I
Just-
bought every single posing guide, even the one that like literally he shows you exactly. Oh, I just said something. How they light it, what angle, like even though like I think it was even like, oh, this is a 45, blah 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 blah. How to do this, and you're like, oh, and then you try it, and you're like, fuck, did I just spend whatever money on this? And I'm doing shit, and not only that, but then you're looking bad to your clients because you're like, oh. Hang on, let me grab my phone and look at this and go, okay, nope, move your arm a little more because you're trying to replicate somebody else's fucking pose. Fuck that. Be your own artist. Get out of your own head. Quit spending money on any posing guide. Do this course. You will never buy another posing guide in your life. Honestly, I don't even look at Denise's posing guides anymore because I don't even need them anymore.
Amen. Amen. There is another one. Maybe one of you ladies can take this. Do you think Stripped Down is the only education you need aside from just practice? Can I jump in on that one really quick? I kind of want to jump in on that one. I think the answer to that one is no. I think every portrait photographer, regardless of the genre, absolutely needs to take Stripped Down, because what I am teaching is not taught by anyone. And I think it is one of the single most fundamental things that you need to learn to be a professionally paid artist and legacy entrepreneur. But I do think that there are other educators out there that I very much respect and admire who have good education. They are few and far between, but they are there. They are absolutely there. Off the top of my head, Elena Marr is fucking so genuine and so loving and so caring and so giving and puts out such good information. And I even think there's like some good business information in some of the things that I've kind of been throwing rocks at, but we need to understand that there's no such thing as one size fits all. We have to learn how to make everything our own. And we're all in different places, different markets, like different places in our journey, all of this kind of stuff. So I think strip down is the most important class that you take, but I don't think it's like the only class that you need to take. And I think we should all constantly be growing. Like I still take courses. Kaylee?
I wanted to chime in a little bit on your, like, this isn't just for boudoir photographers as well.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't agree more. I also use this method with my teen clients. While I don't hit all of the emotions that we would use in boudoir, like I have people that, I have a neighbor who's 14 years old, and she comes over for photo shoots all the time. Her mom is a photographer, and her mom, even just this afternoon, her and I were talking, and she's like, you capture my daughter in a way that I will never be able to. It's like when I do pictures with her, it's, smile, happy, it's mom. She's like, when she gets in front of the camera for you, she's this like confident being. And so like, it's completely transformed her as well. And now my neighbor, who's also a photographer, where we hit a lot of the same genres, recommends people to go to me instead of her on a daily basis. So
That's amazing.
Yeah, it can be used in every realm of photography except for newborns, like in toddlers.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Don't even
any
bother.
other realm, you can use it. Families, maternity, headshots, obviously boudoir, but like you can use this method everywhere in your photography.
Yeah. And that's
Can I hop
that's
in real quick?
Yeah.
I had a lady in my group that knows that I only photograph boudoir message me. She goes, hey, I want a maternity session. My immediate response was, hey, at this moment, I'm only doing boudoir. And that's just my choice. Don't anybody bash me on that. And she goes, no. I want this because of the emotional connection that you have on your photos. Her session was in April. So the way she did it, and towards the end of the session, I really kind of considered it a little bit of a boudoir session because she was there. She was so confident by the end. She's carrying twins. Now they're both born. Great, but her and her husband they bought a 16 by 24 medal of them together. That was in essence one of my couples poses that I learned during this course. So yes, you can definitely do this in maternity. Family sessions, sure. I can't wait to do some in the fall, but any portrait photographer, yes, should do this.
And someone had asked, how often does strip down launch? And every time I launch strip down, I'm brutally honest with you guys. A couple of things. One, every single one of you should sign up for this course. I am like unabashedly selling this course, period, end of story, because I know how good it is. I wouldn't be teaching it if it wasn't the best. So if you're thinking about taking the course, take the fucking course. You need it. Two, I'm also very honest about this, and I get in trouble for it all the time with my team and those around me. Everybody tells me you shouldn't say this, Denise, but I can't help it. I'm going to be honest. As of right now, this is the last strip down. If this launch goes well, then there will be another strip down. If this launch doesn't go well, then this is the last strip down. And that's just the truth of the matter. And you guys are going to learn this about me. I am constantly being really honest, almost to a fault. So do I think there will be another strip down because this launch is going to go great? I do, because my course is amazing. Is there a possibility that this launch won't go great and there won't be another course? Yeah, that's a possibility. So if you're thinking about it, you probably should sign up for it, because could be the last strip down. I don't know. So I just wanted to answer that question in there. Does anybody else have any questions before I let these? Oh, come on in. Oh, come on in. Both of you. Jump in, ladies.
Sorry, there's a comment in here that says, what is it about the course that has you coming back and taking it more than once? Just in case people don't see my response. This new iteration of it is going to be my third time taking strip down. I take it because of Denise. and the honesty that she gives you and the support that you get from your student, fellow classmates and the other students. And it's a truly transformative experience. And I'm taking this next iteration because I'm so excited to see what else Denise has to offer. And it not because like I think, oh, I struggle with the emotions anymore. Like it's not that. Like I'm just so excited to see what you're doing, and the guest educators that are a part of it are people that I have also followed, and I think a lot of us have found inspiration from over the years. And like I miss hanging out with you. I miss Thursday calls. I miss hanging out with fellow classmates and critiquing each other's work and being each other's support systems. Like I miss the days of telling my fiance, like, hey, don't bother me on Thursdays. Like I'll see you tomorrow. So that's why I come back.
Does everybody have a favorite food? Is there a favorite dish that everybody likes, right? You're probably all thinking about that right now. Like, what's that favorite food that you love and that you want to eat it over and over again? And you look forward to it, but you don't eat it every week. It's one of those special meals that you're like saving up for. And my mouth is watering thinking about mine, and yours hopefully is too. That's what this course is. This is that favorite meal that you just want to come back, but you don't want to overindulge yourself. But when it's back on the menu, oh, fuck, I'm going to eat that, and I'm going to eat it good.
Yeah.
I think alumni also get a discounted price to come into the course. So if you're an alumni, they come in at a different price than like, first time students. So I think that's another reason that alumni come back. And I am every single iteration. Kaylee can tell you because she's been with me multiple times. The first class she took was different from the next class she took. We had all of the same bones, but it was built out even better. And this class is going to be built out even better. This is going to be my masterpiece, I think. And so, and it's that, I mean, how many of us, join like subscription sites where we spend like $30 a month. What is that? Times 12. That's 3,000. Is that $3,000 a year? Yeah.
360.
Thanks. $3,060 a year. I mean, it's 360?
Yeah.
No, is it? Yeah. Oh, okay. Well,
okay. But if you're joined for years, and if you're signed up for 4 of those.
Yeah. And so, I mean, there are plenty of subscription sites out there where we do that. And, but we don't have like the intimate connections that we have in Strip Down, and you don't get the ongoing feedback and critique, and you don't have like an instructor mentoring you through the whole thing. And you don't have your students who are in there with you emotionally. So it's quite bananas. It's a really good course.
Can I jump in really quick?
Yeah, babe.
Really quick. Two points I want to mention. I totally forgot the second part of that question. What made you finally sign up? And it was one of these roundtables, and it was listening to your students talk about their experience, which is why I'm here now, because it's so valuable to hear from students who have gone through that process. And the amount of respect that they hold for you and their peers in the process and their clients. Like, so much business education doesn't talk about the clients. And I'm so thrilled that here the clients are centered, because that's what we're here for, right? Like, that's literally our service. We would not have a service if it was not for our clients. No. So that was part one of what I wanted to say. Part two, I saw a question in the comments like a while ago talking about getting confused between what's the difference. Like, this course doesn't talk about posing, it just talks about emotional connection. And I know this is kind of something that's pretty hazy and hard to understand before you get into the course material. But what I want to say about that is posing is moving the body, right? It's like arranging the body so it looks a different way. And in this course, the main focus of the emotion part is communicating with body language. So it's about like the way that the body and the face moves to convey a certain emotion, right? Emotion, we understand emotion when we see other people's body language, like this closed off and kind of like tucked is different from like hands on the hips and open and like chin up, right? And so this is putting a language to the body language. It's putting a verbal language and stuff to the body language. And we learn how to embody body language to help our clients feel different emotions through their body language. It's that like mind-body connection. And then posing is a natural result of that. You don't have to think of where to put this hand, where to put that leg, because where to put the hand and the leg is something that is created through the body language. So I just wanted to kind of, I know it's like kind of weird to think about or to hear if you haven't gone through the course. When you are in the course, I promise you, it becomes so much more clear. Like it's just kind of hard without getting into it.
Now y'all are feeling my pain. It's really hard to say this course, right? It's so hard to explain it because it's so big and so beautiful. But I promise you guys, yeah, it's worth it. I promise. I promise. I promise. I promise.
Can
Okay,
I
I
also
think.
jump in for a second?
Oh yeah, babe. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I just wanted to say a couple of things. So first of all, when I was signing up too, just like Gabby, the thing that put me over the edge was the roundtable. And I remember that Kaylee, you were on that roundtable, and we spoke afterwards. And so just being able to be in a class with you again was like, okay, great. This is so wonderful. And the amount of support that you get in this course is there is no comparison. I have taken so much education. I've spent so much money on education, and this course is like nothing else that I've ever taken. And it's support from Denise, and it's support from your fellow students too. We actually have a messenger chat that blows up every day. There's so many messages inside there, right? We are constantly talking, and we have made those connections, and it's through that support that I think that we really can get through this together and make us better artists and just better business people too, you know. And also, I found that before Strip Down, I had a really hard time, and similar to what Dan was saying, with connecting with clients, and it's only at the end they would kind of warm up, and so it was kind of like a situation of shooting and hoping that you got it right. But now it's so much more about that you're gonna get it. You just know you're gonna get it. And so it results in so much more images that are just really good, and you're not wasting as much time. And clients feel so much better about it now because you're able to put them at ease so much more. Like, they were having a good time before, don't get me wrong, but it's just a different level now. Like, I don't have to spend all that time kind of getting them ready and like shooting for an hour and not really getting much, and then only at the end getting what I need, but then the shoot is almost over. So I realized that their comfort level, being normal everyday woman, has totally increased by just so much. And so yeah, I just wanted to add that.
Thank you. So I want you guys to meet 4 of your accountability ambassadors. So all 4 of these amazing people are going to be our accountability ambassadors. So they will be with you in class if you join, supporting you along the way and helping keeping you on track and help keeping you motivated. So you guys have got to meet some of the people who you are going to be working with along with me, because they're all brilliant and they've done an amazing job. People are asking, when can they sign up? So tomorrow is our pre-launch. So we are pre-launching tomorrow. So I want to make sure that you guys are here tomorrow for Bootcamp Day 2. That's May 20th at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm going to help take your new posing skill that we learned earlier this week to the next level. I'm not revealing a huge surprise. I already did that. I told you guys I've added the 8-week business class. And by the way, I'm adding that 8-week business class for free. That's free. After this launch, if we launch again, I will be charging for it. But this round, it will be free. I'm going to give you a sneak peek into the next strip down. So I'm going to talk more about strip down, like the actual course, what strip down is going to look like. And I'm going to be giving away one full scholarship. And yes, you do have to be here and you have to be live in order to win that. And that will be a random drawing. And you don't want to miss me live ever, because, you know, you just don't ever want to miss me live, but especially tomorrow because I'm giving away a scholarship and lots of other wonderful stuff. So I think with that, I want to thank the four of you so very much. First and foremost, for allowing me to earn your trust. Thank you so much. Trust is never something I ask for. Trust is something that has to be earned. And I appreciate you guys for allowing me to earn your trust. I want to thank each one of you for showing up for yourselves and doing the damn work and doing a great job at doing it. I want to thank you for being here so that you could share with other students, because it's hard for me to explain all of this stuff. And it's much easier when it's coming from you guys. And I want to thank you for joining me to be accountability ambassadors in the next course, because I know that you guys are going to help me make a huge impact in the world and help other photographers do beautiful things. You guys are awesome, and I appreciate you. Every single one of you who have stayed on this live with us for goddamn ever, 1 hour and 54 minutes. Thank you for your time. I know that it's incredibly valuable. And hopefully we were able to bring you good information. And whether you sign up for the course or not, I'm going to continue going live in my free Facebook group, which is here where you are right now. I'm going to continue going live and bringing you guys as much value, as much love, as much support, and as much community as I possibly can, because I want to see us all do better. I really am invested in this industry doing better, so that we're actually serving our clients and not objectifying them, and doing what I know what we all really want to do. That's why we're boudoir photographers. We just kind of like maybe need to find our way a little bit. So thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate your time. Kids, I love you guys immensely. Mwah. And the rest of you, I shall see you mañana at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Everybody have a great evening. Bye, guys.